He's a man, walking with a plan, looking fly like that, but damn, why this boy without a tan? Call him the boss hog, sucking on a chili dog while sipping on eggnog.
I need you to take my last patient.
Well, why?
Because I've got an early dinner date, followed by a late dinner date, followed by a movie date.
Ugh, that sounds exhausting.
Yeah, which is why I need to get out of here, okay? So I can get myself together and come up with a backup plan in case one of these guys don't look like their Tinder profile pics.
Hey, but I need to leave on time. I'm filming my comedy special tonight.
Since when do you do stand-up?
Since 2005, and it's the biggest night of my life, so I'm kind of in a hurry.
Well, if you want to fill seats, you should get Justin Timberlake to do stand-up at your show. I mean, he is my favorite comedian.
Justin Timberlake isn't even a comic. You know, stand-up comedy's not that easy to do.
Really? Because porn stars, MMA fighters, Instagram models, and now apparently physical therapists all do stand-up comedy.
Yeah, well...
I mean, what do you even talk about? What, do you have some riveting joke about total knee replacement surgery?
Actually, I do, and it's a really funny story.
Well, I'm gonna be late, so I have got to go, but I will save you some leftovers, okay? Bye-bye.
Hey, bro. At least you're getting them leftovers.
Okay, Mrs. Herdecure.
I'm ready.
Oh, God, why'd you do that?
Well, the doctor said something about you taking a look at my cervix, and I wanted to make it easy for you.
Mm-hmm. Your chart says cervical, not cervix. Cervical means your neck, not your cervix.
Oh, well, that makes sense. I did tell him I had a little bit of neck pain.
Mm-hmm. Why don't we just get the gown back on?
Oh, does that mean you're not going to take a look at my cervix?
No, and we're gonna stop saying the word cervix. Gotta go. Oh, God, late for my specials.
I got confidence.
Oh, my butt.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
Yeah, just a little dinged up.
Loquasto?
Oh, hey, Brad.
Hey man, sorry about the bump right there. Any chance we can keep that just between us? Trying to keep my points low.
Sure, I mean, what are friends for?
Ah, thanks man. What's the camera for? You know, I just don't want any video evidence of me hitting you.
Well, I'm on my way to film my comedy special.
Oh! Well, nobody's gonna see that. That's fine. All right, dude, thanks. See ya.
I'm here.
Thank God, where have you been?
Yeah, it's a bit of a rough day at work.
You look like you got hit by a car.
No.
Don't worry about it. I got you the best crew money can buy.
Damn it. My battery's dead. How could you? Man, I forgot my camera. Wait, you what?
How do I take a selfie with this?
I thought you said you got the best crew that money could buy.
I got you the best crew that your money can buy. Johnny, don't worry about it, all right? It's gonna be fine. Just go out there and have a great show.
Okay.
Oh, wait, Johnny.
It's my doppelganger and hero, Breckenmeyer.
Did he send that to me to wish me good luck?
Yeah, no, I just printed that off Google Images because I know it makes you really happy.
Thanks, Brecken.
Johnny, close. Oh boy, this is gonna be a shit show.
Start clapping, y'all, for the probiotic party, the Groupon done, aka Sunday Monday, aka Shelly. Ladies and gentlemen, make it loud for Jonny Loquasto! Thank you, everybody. Yeah. All right, thank you for being here. Woo. All right. This is awesome. Let's just jump right into it. All right, every comic does stand up for a reason. I was a fat kid, I've never been to therapy. Here we are.
I was 11 years old. I weighed 170 pounds. I'm not exaggerating when I say I was a fat kid. I don't mean the kind of fat where it's like, oh my God, your cheeks are so chubby and cute. No, I mean the kind of fat where it's like, oh my God, Augustus, you got out of the chocolate river. I'd be waddling around as a kid, das ist gut chocolate, and just shove it in my face. And I put tartar sauce on everything as a kid. Why? Mayonnaise by itself is gross. Relish by itself is weird. You combine the two, it's a fat kid kryptonite. I can't explain. To this day, every time I drive by a Long John Silver's, I salivate like a Pavlovian dog, like, oh my God. And I grew up as a fat kid in the 90s when bullying was cool. I don't know if you remember that. In the 90s, bullying fat kids was more popular than the skip it. Like everyone was doing it. Kids in elementary school thought it was hilarious to just run up to me and grab my tits, you know, just. And I couldn't do anything about it back then, so I might be over 20 years late on this, but you know, hashtag me too, all right? It's just. And there was so much discrimination against fat kids in the 90s. We couldn't even go clothing shopping with the rest of the kids. We got sectioned off. We had to go all the way to the back of the store. We had to knock on a wall 3 times. Squeeze our way into a narrow passageway into a magical land known as the Husky section, bitches. AKA Mini Lane Bryant, AKA big and not tall. That's where we had to shop. And even in the Husky section, nothing fit. As a fat kid, you wanted a shirt, you had 2 options, football jersey, hockey jersey. That was it. Adults would be running up to me like, oh, look at you, are you a Vancouver Canucks fan? I was like, no. It's just their logo covers both of my nipples, so. And even sports was discriminatory. One year I wanted to sign up for football, but it was based on weight classes, right? I went to sign up with my mom. The coach looked at me, then looked at my mom and whispered to her as if my fat ears couldn't hear. He was like, yeah, if your son wants to play football this season, he's gonna have to be drafted to the NFL, because Jesus Christ, he's gonna kill one of our children. I'm looking for blockers, not bulldozers, my God. And because of that, I never got a chance to play football, but now I have 2 healthy knees, so thank you, childhood obesity. I may never score a touchdown, but I could sure as hell do a touchdown dance pain-free. And on top of being a fat kid, I was also a Boy Scout. What a combo. You know what you learn when you're a fat kid and a Boy Scout? You learn how to be a virgin until you're 23 years old. I nailed that life lesson. God. But the one good thing I will say about being a fat kid, did whatever I wanted, no fear. Every one of us had a fat friend growing up. That kid was like, whatever. I was 11 years old. I weighed 170 pounds. Who's gonna kidnap me? Nobody, you know? You want to take me home, you better have a stock refrigerator and a bank account to back that shit up. I don't want no scrubs. I would go outside to play by myself, looking at it like an athlete. I was like, well, the kidnapper thinks he's gonna lift me up today. He's gonna earn it, yeah. You better lift with the core. I'm gonna give you a hernia, put you on the DL, buddy. Matter of fact, you know what? I'll just do you a solid. Is that your van over there with the candy? I'll just meet you in there. Let's have a good time. There was no Amber Alert needed for me whatsoever. And we didn't have Amber Alerts back in the 90s. Thank God we have them now, though, right? You see an Amber Alert, you know, the bad guy's getting caught, he's going behind bars. But let's be honest, when you see an Amber Alert, the asshole part of your brain takes over for like 5 seconds. Because every time you see an Amber Alert, it's always the shittiest car you've ever seen taking the kid. And your first thought every time is like, ooh, that's a 91 Camry. I don't think he can afford a child right now. He needs to get his life together. He's not ready. And that's why kidnapping's such a huge issue in the country. We see terrible cars taking kids. You know they're in danger. Have you ever seen a luxury automobile swiping a baby? No. But it might change all our theories just a little bit. Driving on the freeway, you see Amber Alert, child abduction, 2019 Bentley Coupe. Pretty sure every one of us would be thinking, oh my God, that kid hit the jackpot, congratulations. Because that's not even kidnapping, that's just the plot to The Blind Side. That's all that is. That is adoption without the messy paperwork, everybody. That kid's got a trust fund and a record deal. He's 3, he's good. And I think part of the reason I was a fat kid is because I grew up in Pennsylvania, which on the map, the whole state is shaped like a block of cheese, so it makes sense. Pennsylvania's state motto should just be, at least we're not New Jersey. Like, we have nothing else. And I'm from the kind of town where it's not uncommon to hear someone start a conversation with, well, I'm not racist, but. Which is a strange way for a minister to begin a sermon. That I can tell you. And my high school's nickname wasn't like the Lions or the Bears. No, we were the Concrete Kids. Spelled Konkrete. KIDS. And I have no idea why. So I cannot guarantee that my hometown was racist back in the day, but I guarantee one thing we've never had, spelling bee winner, that's for sure. But nonetheless, when I meet people from Pennsylvania, I get so excited. No matter where you're from, you meet someone from that same area, you're like, oh my God, you're from there, I'm from there, let's hug for no reason. It just happens. Like I walked into a 7-Eleven like a month ago, the guy behind the counter wearing a Pittsburgh Pirates baseball cap. I just lose it. I'm like, dude, that's an awesome Pirates hat. You must be from Pennsylvania. He's like, no, Somalia. I'm like, oh, shit. That's a whole other kind of pirate. Trying to be an adult, it's not that easy. Because I look younger than I am, so people meet me, they think I'm a millennial, then they find out I have Hotmail. It's very confusing. It's not easy having an old email address. It's like 19, 20 years old because you're still getting email coupons for VHS rentals at Blockbuster. And it's just embarrassing when someone asks your email address and I have to be like, oh, my email? Yeah, you know, it's can't stop, won't stop, bad boy at hotmail.com. And all you Gmail users, you're a bunch of dicks. You look down on the rest of us. I had to email a friend of mine something recently. I was like, hey man, it's coming from my Hotmail account, just a heads up. Word for word, he goes, you know what man, don't even bother. I don't want your email touching my email. Like, what does that even mean? I have Hotmail, not HPV. Like, what's the... The only benefit of having an old email address, you can respond to any spam you want to, nothing to lose. Because you're the governor of Spamville, just go for it. We all got those emails you want to respond to, some country you never heard of, begging for money, a lot of misspellings, best one I ever got. All it said in the subject line was, I have $1 million, please help me find it. So of course I responded back, good news, I'm a problem solver, right? I get a response back saying, wonderful, with 2 L's. I'm a princess in Abu Dhabi. I have access to $1 million US, but I need your help to get it because I'm being held captive in my family's castle by my father, who's an evil dictator. So I responded back, ma'am, that's not really at my level of expertise, but I will forward your email to the Super Mario Brothers because, yeah. They have handled this kind of mission before. As a matter of fact, from 87 to 91, I helped him at least a dozen times. But I don't know how to climb a flagpole, so... Those 2 fat plumbers with mustaches are gonna figure this one out for you. Trying to stay young, it's not easy. I will admit, though, I have a daytime and a nighttime moisturizer because I am a white person. We do not age well, all right? I learned from a friend of mine, she's in her 30s, and she's gorgeous. She taught me how to moisturize. She's like, I do daytime and nighttime because men age better than women, so I gotta make sure I stay young, which I didn't know that was true. She's like, oh yeah, men age better than women because men, you're not always touching your faces like we are. And I was like, well, that definitely explains why our penises look so old, you know? There is no beauty regimen that's gonna fix that. That is It's a lot of wear and tear down there. We might use moisturizer for a couple of seconds, but that's about it. If you look close enough, there's rings around it like a tree. Like, that's actually how you guess someone's age. That's nature sweat. I'm also a healthcare professional, which I understand is weird to say right after a dick joke. I get it. I'm a physical therapist, which I'm very proud of, but a lot of people, thank you, yeah. Thing is, a lot of people don't know what a physical therapist is. The most common response I get is, oh, you're a physical therapist? Can you give me a massage? I'm like, not if you ask me like that, Jesus. Why are you holding baby oil? Put it down. But now I do more comedy than I do physical therapy, so my whole life has changed. I've had to adjust a lot of things about my life, you know? For example, a couple of years ago as a physical therapist, my goal was to own a house by 30. Now my goal is not have a roommate by 40, you know? Sometimes you gotta say, hey, life, we're gonna kick this shit down a notch. And people come to visit me from out of town, they walk in my place like, why don't you give me a tour? I'm like, why don't you spin around? That's what I got. It's a cozy 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 2-dude apartment. Welcome. Oh, you have to use the bathroom? No problem. Just dry your hands off with my beach towel / bath towel / guest blanket. So. And I've had to switch health insurances. Guess what? That's never an upgrade. As a physical therapist, I had a Blue Cross PPO. Now, I drink kombucha and hope for the best. I don't even know what probiotics are, but I'm counting on them now. And people always like to ask, what happens if you get sick? You gonna go to the doctor? I'm like, no, I'm just gonna drink this 16-ounce bottle full of ginseng, digestive enzymes, and my prayers. Here we are. And the second most common question I get is, oh, you're a healthcare professional. What's up with that medical marijuana? I'm like, I don't know. I tried marijuana once in my life. I thought I was gonna spontaneously combust. I just couldn't. Like, I know people who function on weed 24/7. That's amazing. I just know my system cannot handle marijuana. I have discovered that I'm just a much more productive person when I sell it. So, you know, there's that. Yeah.
Perhaps you should try Decepticortrex. Side effects include headache, itchiness, runny nose, stuffy nose, loss of nose, really bad headache, loss of feeling in your vital organs, mood swings, depression, elation, the yearning to do push-ups, the desire to watch all 11 seasons of Frasier in one sitting, anal fissures, fingernail toe fungus, thoughts of masturbation, actual masturbation, Fox News, the need to ask for a Wi-Fi password in every situation, ulnar and radial nerve damage, Pitbull's music, minor heart attack followed by massive heart attack. Oh, we failed to mention what Decepticortrex actually treats. Well, we haven't quite figured that out yet, but we recommend you take this drug anyway. Decepticortrex. Why haven't you swallowed it yet? Such a pussy. You never commit to anything. Sail away.
And I'd say the hardest part about being a physical therapist, look at the body completely different than everyone else. You know, I can't just take the body at face value. Like when a guy sees a beautiful woman, what's our first thought? It's like, oh yeah, look at the ass on her. My first thought is, oh, that ass is gonna cause a lot of low back problems. I don't envy the owner of that ass at all. Or women wearing heels. Guys lose their minds. They see a woman in heels. Oh my God, look at her. The calves and the hamstrings and the butt. That is perfect. She is perfect in those heels. And I'm like, yeah, perfect if you want her to have Achilles tendonitis and hammer toes. If you cared about her, you'd buy her a brand new pair of tennies. That's what you would do. I found out I can't even enjoy twerking. Everyone loves twerking, guys and girls alike, but not me. I had to chime in one time. My friends were watching a twerking video that went viral. I just had to yell at them, like, well, I hope you guys realize that twerking is not only bad for the hips, but it also causes spondylolisthesis of the lumbar spine, leading to extensive nerve damage, causing paresthesias all the way down the leg. And that was when all my friends concluded that I was gay. So, yeah. So now when I see twerking, I just shut up and enjoy it. And you guys might be wondering, like, oh, you're a physical therapist, you worked in hospitals, do you have a joke about a total knee replacement? I sure do. Here it comes. If you don't know what a total knee replacement is, it's when they take out your old knee, replace it with a new knee. It hurts like holy hell. My job in the hospital is to get people up for the first time. So one day, working with this old lady, total knee replacement, I was trying to make small talk, and I was like, hey, you know, how'd your knee feel after surgery? And she's like, oh, Lord, it felt like dicks. I was like, what? Did you ever hear something from so far out in left field? Your brain just blurts out a response. That's what happened. She's like, oh, Lord, it felt like dicks. I was like, oh, how many? Oh, shit. She allowed that to process. And then said to me, my brother's name is Dick. He had the same surgery that I did. I was like, oh. But luckily, I speak professionally sometimes for a living, so I was just like, sorry about that. And she was like, well, you should be sorry. And then in a moment of self-reflection, she looked around and she was like, and besides, I never even had more than one dick at a time. Like, she was disappointed. So here I am with an old woman with a total knee replacement who's sad because she never got a chance to be a freak in the bedroom. I'm like, how did we get here? But as a PT, your job is to make your patients feel comfortable and confident. So in the moment when I came up with this, I was like, well, hey, on the bright side, once your knee heals, put a pillow on the ground, don't bend your knee past 90, and go for it, sister! Gosh, I've had so many amazing patients over the years. My final day at the hospital, I was saying goodbye to this older lady, and I was like, hey, I hope you have a great rest of your life. I'm gonna miss you, but I'm resigning to do comedy full time. She stops me, she's like, well, Johnny, number one, I wanna let you know that I love you. And number two, my daughter is single. I was like, all right. But you're 85. Pretty sure your daughter's entering the Medicare phase of her life. But does she have Hotmail? Maybe we can connect somehow. And one of my other favorite patients, this guy was 92 years old, but still very sharp, still very lucid, had all his wits about him. We'd hang out all the time in the hospital. One day I walked in the room, I was like, what's up, Ralph? How's it going? He's like, Johnny, close the door. I was like, all right, Ralph, what's up? He's like, Johnny, I think I have an addiction. I'm like, what are you addicted to, man? He's like, I cannot stop drinking Ensure. Did you say Ensure? Yeah. I'm drinking 9 or 10 a day, one after the other. I'm pooping strawberries. I don't know what to do. Does that make me addicted? I'm like, it makes you adorable. I know that much. But he was legit worried. He's like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, Ralph, you are 92 years old. Drink as much Ensure as you want. That's why you're still here. Matter of fact, do you want real drugs? I'll get you real drugs. I mean, we do drugs the wrong way in this country. We do drugs when we're young, which means your family's gonna hate you, your friends think you're the worst. You're 90 doing drugs, guess what? You're a party favor at the holidays, you know? Deep down, every old dude wants to be that grandpa at some point where people walk in, hey guys, how's it going? Oh my God, is that your grandfather shadowboxing naked to trance music? And then the whole family has a good chuckle, like, yeah, that's just Pop-Pop tripping again, look at him. Oh, and that's where the tampons went. He thinks they're glow sticks. All right, that's... We have to do more for the elderly in society. Part of the reason that old people get dementia and sadness is because all we do is take from old people. We need to give back. That's why I have a plan. Every single time an old person is deemed unsafe to drive, the moment they hand in that driver's license, in return, they should get a bag of mushrooms, 6 ounces of weed, and a colorful bong of their choosing. Yeah. Because that victory is twofold. Number one, they get a whole new lease on life. And number two, tell me that wouldn't brighten up your morning at the DMV if you get to see an old dude jump on the Pineapple Express. Are you kidding me? So Ralph didn't know what to do. He's like, Johnny, I'm getting discharged tomorrow. What should I do? I'm like, here's what you do, Ralph. Just buy a pair of sunglasses, pop a Viagra, and walk into Forever 21. Live your life. Well, without a doubt, my favorite group of patients, elderly Hispanic women. Oh, I love them so much. They're the most beautiful souls on the face of the planet. Best case scenario in life, I could wake up every morning to an alarm clock of an elderly Hispanic woman just whispering, hola, mijo. Hola, mijo. Hola, mijo. You wake up ready for the world like, oh, gracias, abuelita Coco. But here's what I found out when an elderly Hispanic woman's in pain. Uh-oh, look out. The moment I walked in their hospital room, I'd be dodging Bibles and rosaries tossed at my head. And then right away, they just lay in with everything that's hurting them. Just, me duele la espalda, me duele la rodilla, me duele los piernas, me duele corazón, me duele calcetines. I'm like, how do your socks hurt? I don't... And then they break into this low-level moan like, I'm like, are you singing backup for Shakira? Like, what is going on? I just love that generation, the elderly. They did so much with so little. They used Jägermeister as cough medicine. How are you not on board? And I'm pretty sure none of them were allergic to gluten, just a guess. Yeah. My grandfather was a coal miner who got black lung disease. He didn't care what was in his bread when his time clock at work was a dead canary. You see what I'm saying? And he had 3 Purple Hearts in World War II. He would sit me down and tell me stories to terrify me. I'll never forget, I was 7 years old. He sits me down. He's like, all right, Johnny, June 6, 1944, that was D-Day. I was the first one to storm the beaches, and I almost met Jesus that day. And I was like, ah, damn, that's a shitty bedtime story, Grandpa. But it made me realize if I ever become an adult, and I actually have a grandson, it's gonna be so strange when he runs up to me, Grandpa, why don't you tell me a story? I'm like, oh, shit. All right, April 17th, 2010, that was Taco Tuesday. And that was the day that I met Jesus, and we got kicked out for doing body shots off your grandmother. I remember. And older couples met under real life circumstances. My grandfather met my grandmother by kicking in her door in Nazi Germany. Let me reiterate that for idiots like me who can't even find love on the internet. My grandfather met my grandmother by storming into Nazi Germany. I'm assuming not like this. I don't know how to storm. Kicks down her door, points a rifle at her head, like in a romantic way. It was like, oh, damn. Guten Tag. And my grandmother spoke no English at the time, but I assume back then it didn't take much to impress a German woman, so I can only imagine she looked at him like, well, he's got a gun, but he's not a Nazi. My hero! And that's the kind of romance I want in my life, guys. When you look at what that generation went through, it's just amazing that now we still can't get along. There's still so much racial tension, it's crazy. And politics have a big reason for it. There was a dude in Tennessee, a politician, who put a billboard up with his own money that said, "Make America white again." And I was like, no, we do not want America to be all white. Number one, sports would be unwatchable, all right? Number two, we've all seen old movies with nothing but white people in it. It's just 90 minutes of a guy yelling at a woman, I'm no good, I tell you. She's like, but I love you. He's like, now scram, and that's the whole movie. The whole time you're praying for a dude named Duran to show up and be like, y'all tripping, and it never happens. And besides, one of the reasons this country is so great is we let so many different types of people in, and as long as they say yes, you can have sex with them and make a beautiful baby, you know? Have you ever seen an ugly mixed race person? No, because they don't exist. I can tell you based on a study conducted by myself, it's a fact. Every mixed race person is gorgeous, whether it's Mariah Carey or the most gorgeous person on earth, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Oh my God. Oh. I have never met The Rock, but if I ever make eye contact with him, I'm gonna swoon like a Southern belle whose sugar is low because she hasn't drinking her sweet tea. Like, oh, Dwayne! Like, that's so handsome. And this politician, I want to make America white again. He's got to deal with white men like me whose goal is to have an interracial baby at some point in my life. Because I've thought long and hard about it. If I ever get married, I don't think it's going to be to a white woman. Because I just can't afford all the allergy medication. I just can't. They're allergic to everything. It doesn't matter where you go. Oh my God, is there pollen here? We're inside. I don't know. So this guy wants to make America white again. I'm trying to keep America from ever getting sunburned again. That's my stance on things.
Hello, friends. My name is Winifred Benefit Herman Dearborn, and I am running for re-election for my 23rd consecutive term to be your representative for things that are mostly out of my control. And I promise, if re-elected, I will continue to be articulate enough to say all the things that my constituents want to hear without actually following through on them. Because I either legally can't do it, or I just don't feel like it. Hell, build a wall or build a mall. I don't give a good goddamn. Some people call it a recession. I call it a correction. I'm still making a nice chunk of change from your tax dollars and lobbyists no matter what. So instead of rocking the boat, I'm just gonna sit in this boat while sipping on a delicious mojito. It will continue to be a distinct honor to be your public servant. Servant. Now I believe that's what they call an oxymoron. My name is Winifred Benefit Herman Dearborn, and I approve this message.
And I travel a lot. Homophobia is still a thing, which is crazy. There are still people out there who are afraid that gay people want to have sex with them. Guess what? If you're afraid a gay person wants to have sex with you, you're not their type. They have better things to do than try to solve you like a gay Rubik's Cube. Trust me. I loved living in West Hollywood. It was safe and it was clean and it was energetic. My apartment was so gay, it didn't even come with a closet. Like, that's how... You couldn't even come out of it. The moment you set foot inside, you felt free, and it was incredible. And then there's the people who believe homosexuality is not a real thing, and they always say the same thing. It's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. I'm like, that's the argument you're going with? Adam and Eve? Let's see which is more realistic. Let's do a tale of the tape. Adam and Eve, man and a woman, show up stark naked in a garden that isn't theirs. They don't know what they're doing there. But they're supposed to avoid a certain tree. What comes slithering out of that tree? Oh, just a talking snake. Offers them a poison apple. They take a bite. Did they die? Nope, they lived to be 900 years old. What's more realistic? That? Or just one of your buddies casually saying, hey, you know that dude Eric from the gym? I fucked him. You tell me, is... Unless that talking snake is Scarlett Johansson from The Jungle Book, I'm siding with the gays on this one. I just love diversity. And we all have our insecurities too. I have a new insecurity. I just found out that apparently I look like a standard white dude. I didn't know. I had no idea I look like a standard white dude till recently I tried to make my own personal avatar with that app called Bitmoji on my phone. And I didn't have to change any of the goddamn settings. Everyone else I know, it takes them like an hour and a half. I was done in 30 seconds, like, look at me! Everything just waiting there for me. Default face, pale skin, brown hair, brown eyes, wavy hair, standard eyebrows, medium build, no facial hair, normal dilation of my pupils, 2 ears and nose. I love sports, I eat grilled chicken and rice every day, and I'm a feminist, but I've never waken up early enough to go to a march. All that shit was there. Like, no one told me I'm the male equivalent to a basic bitch. I never knew. So now when I go to brunch, I be slamming mimosas. Just me and my gal pals tossing them back. Diversity's the best, man. I've been a lot of places. The most recent place, the most amazing place, I went to Pakistan for the first time ever, right? Because I work in professional wrestling. I was part of a team that brought pro wrestling to Pakistan for the first time ever. And if that sounds weird, it was, all right? The moment we got off the plane, pandemonium. People want selfies, people want hugs. My ego gets the best of me. I'm like, oh my God, these people know who I am. No, they just saw a white dude there and oh, something's up, you know? Like, for all they knew, I could have been Tom Brady. We have similar bone structure, you know? And I had no idea how influenced they are by American culture in Pakistan. I'm flipping the channels in the hotel, and I'm seeing all these exact replica shows. The one that totally blew my mind, they have a Pakistani version of The Bachelorette. Yeah, it's called Prearranged. And it's only one episode. Her dad is the host. And he only has one rose. The wedding date's already planned. Little anticlimactic, but I watched it. And some of you might be thinking, professional wrestling, Johnny, you know that it's fake, right? No. Professional wrestling is not fake. It is intense, combative choreography performed by highly trained professional athletes with the utmost precision and dramatic flair in front of an energetic audience. That's professional wrestling. You want fake, watch The Bachelor. That's the fakest garbage on television. Let's do a side-by-side comparison. You tell me which is more realistic. Professional wrestling. 2 grown men or women fighting over 10 pounds of gold that they could proudly wear around their waist. Or The Bachelor, a former third-string quarterback and an Instagram model / flight attendant who don't even know each other, wearing all white for some reason, riding horseback, getting drunk off free Captain Morgan's, all in the hope to get 1 rose from that douchebag? That's realistic. And people go, Johnny, you watch wrestling and believe it's real? I'm like, you watch The Bachelor and believe love is real? Get out of here. But the thing is, guys like strange things. Some people think, oh, pro wrestling is weird for guys. They're like, we do all types of stuff that it's just weird. Strip clubs, explain that. If you list out loud, chronologically, what men do on a night at the strip club, it defies all human logic. Let's just reenact a night at the strip club, shall we? Hey guys, guess what? It's Tony's birthday. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pile 7 deep in my Kia. We're gonna drive to the strip club. We're gonna pay to get in. Then we're gonna pay even more money to collectively get hard as a group. Yeah. But are we gonna remedy the situation? No, not at all. We're just gonna sit there, avoid eye contact, and high five every 5 to 10 minutes. And then we're all gonna drive home together, still pretty hard. Happy birthday, Tony. What? That is the worst birthday of all time. Could we also stop for McFlurries and have them melt immediately in front of us on the way home? And then dudes always want to load up on lap dances. Oh man, we're gonna lap it up. So many lap dances. I'm like, I have a way better idea. How about we all just stay at home, we'll save our money, we'll all get drunk, I will pass out first, you could draw a dick on my forehead, we'll call it a night, because that's what's gonna happen anyway. And none of us are perfect. I have no problem admitting I've had a very vanilla sex life. Actually, vanilla's not even accurate. I've had a plain Greek yogurt sex life. Even when stuff does start to pop off, I'm so neurotic, I kind of messed it up. I was with a girl recently who didn't want to use a condom. And I was like, well, I'm kind of a condom guy. I think we should. And she's like, I respect that, but I'm letting you know we don't have to use a condom. And I was like, well, I'm letting you know we do have to use a condom. Because if we don't use a condom, I'm definitely not going to last long enough. And that's going to be a story you tell your friends about. But as men, we're supposed to hate condoms and be upfront about, oh, condoms are terrible. You can't feel anything with a condom. Well, you know what feels better than an orgasm? Peace of mind. All right, that's... You know what really gets me off? Not waking up in a panic. That I might have a child on the way. And this only happened one time in my comedy career. One time after a show, this woman came up to me. She's like, hey, we're going to have sex right now. We're going to get a hotel room. And I was like, well, yeah, I said yes, because I'm a gentleman. And but I didn't have any condoms on me, right? So we had to go find a store that had condoms. Boom, Target was open. Did not know Target had a Baskin-Robbins assortment of condoms. So I pick a 3-pack up off the rack, right? 3-pack, gets the job done, it's affordable. I don't know why I looked at you when I said affordable. I apologize. But she looked at the 3-pack and she's like, ooh, only 3, huh? Is 3 gonna be enough for tonight? I was like, I don't know. Who else you got coming over? Because I don't... I'm not sure what you heard about me. I need 1. That's about it. It's midnight. I'm in my 30s. I got real bad heartburn already. If we could just... And women are being more aggressive now, which is great. Just know who you're playing with is all I ask. I am not an aggressive person. Recently, a girl went to unbuckle my belt, which I appreciated. That had to get done. But she didn't leave it at that. Instead, she unbuckled the belt and then whipped it off. And in the moment, all I could think is like, oh, God damn it, now I gotta put that belt back on. Because I don't know if you know this about men. Once we put a belt on a pair of pants, that belt stays on the pants forever. Wait, you mean you don't wash your pants? No, we don't wash our pants. That's why Febreze exists. And then she got even more aggressive. She's like, I want you to choke me. And I was like, wait, what? And there was no one else in the room. Not a lawyer, not a referee, not a Dateline reporter hiding in the closet, nobody. And I don't know what guy hears that request and just jumps in willy-nilly. You know what I mean? Like, when a girl's like, I want you to choke me, what guy is like, well, this is why I do CrossFit. You know, like... Can you please choke me? Okay, SEAL Team 6. You know, no. So I was so taken aback by it. She's like, I want you to choke me. I was like, I think we should hold off on the sex thing till you learn how to breathe and orgasm at the same time. Now, if you'll excuse me, I had to go pick my belt up on the opposite side of the room. And obviously, I can't speak for women, but men, our bodies change a lot 20 versus 30s, you know? Like in your 20s as a man, when you hook up with someone for the first time, your body sends a message right to your brain that says, yo, that was awesome. We got to do that again right now. When you're in your 30s and you hook up with someone for the first time, your body sends a message to your brain that says, whoo, that was better than a glass of whiskey. Night, night, and you pass out. Immediately. completely disappointing whoever you're with. She's staring at your lifeless body like, does my vagina have chloroform? What the hell just happened? It's amazing how we change. Early 20s, do whatever you want, wherever you want, no repercussions. Once you reach a certain age, there are some nights, the only reason you're even trying to have sex is so you could burn just enough calories to have a big breakfast in the morning. It happens. We all have that internal calorie counter going on in our head, like, oh man, if we go long tonight, chocolate chip pancakes tomorrow. But if we tap out early, it's oatmeal, no brown sugar. I don't know. And phone sex, I don't know how anyone does it. I don't know how you could pretend to have sex with your phone as a middleman. That is weird. That's the reason those 900 sex lines died, because even the loneliest, horniest of dudes were like, this is just foolish. Like, I'll be honest, I would rather be on the phone with Time Warner Cable. At least then I know I'm getting screwed, you know? And one-night stands, I'll be honest, I've never really done too many of those, because I think one-night stands are just attraction-based, and you need to have the right face for a one-night stand. Baby face doesn't say nail it and sail it. It just doesn't. Because women, you're incredibly perceptive. You can go out somewhere and pick a guy out and know exactly the kind of person he is. Like, oh yeah, there he is. He looks like an asshole. He'll be gone in the morning. You look at me, you're like, oh, he's going to call back. And it's like... I really hate when that joke works. And we're all going on first dates. We've all been on first dates, whether you're married or you're single. Sometimes they're amazing. Other times, 5 minutes in, you're like, oh, this is the most miserable person I've ever met in my life. I got set up with a girl one time. We're on our way to the restaurant. I'm making small talk. And I was like, hey, I have a comedy show tomorrow night. We have fun tonight? Go to my comedy show with me. Word for word, she goes, nah, I don't like comedy. I was like, who says that out loud? You don't like comedy? You don't like to laugh or feel joy or exuberance? You got a little core workout, you know? Like, ladies, you laugh twice? That's called a Kegel. You're welcome. All right? It's... We all need to laugh to survive. So I knew this wasn't going to work out. So we get to the restaurant. She pops out of the car. I stay put behind the wheel. She looks back at me. She's like, what the hell's the matter with you? And I was like, yeah, I don't like food. And I drove off. So that was... And I don't envy couples sometimes because commercials put way too much pressure on you, especially car companies. There's one that's worse than any of them. That's, well, I don't want to dime them out. Let's just call them Fexus. They have that one commercial every year where the dude ties one of the Fexuses up in a bow and just gives it to his wife. And you watch that commercial like, ha ha ha, can't do that shit. All right. It's always some dude in like a turtleneck and a diamond-encrusted coffee mug. Walks her out to the driveway. She sees it tied up in a bow. She's like, oh my God, it's a Fexus. Then the announcer has to kick in, this holiday season, show her how much you love her. Buy a Fexus. And you're thinking, oh my God, if I have to buy a Fexus to prove my love, either I'm a terrible husband or she's just a bitch. Like, that's all there is to it. That's why just once, I want to see them keep it real with one commercial. He walks her out to the driveway. She sees it tied up in a bow, and she's like, oh my God, it's a Fexus. Oh, you are cheating on me, you son of a bitch. Then the announcer kicks in, this holiday season, show her that Charlene in accounting is just a whore who means nothing to you. Buy a Fexus.
Being distinguished is utterly remarkable. Being remarkable is utterly distinguished. Don't you want a car that is distinguished and remarkable? Introducing the brand new Fexus XW345 IW3TZ to the Second Power Sports Coupe. Because having a personality, work ethic, and a moral compass won't get you anywhere. But we will. Fexus, you need us. to get pussy.
And commercials are very unfair to women. There's a product for every part of the female anatomy, most of which you do not need. Because as a healthcare professional, I pay attention to those. I saw a commercial recently I honestly thought was fake. It's for a product called Latisse. If you don't know what Latisse is a little product, thickens a woman's eyelashes. On behalf of every man on earth, we've never once looked at your stupid eyelashes. Not once! We're so clueless. You can mention eyelashes and eyebrows in the same sentence. We're like, wait, we have those on our face? I have no idea. I don't really look at my face. I guarantee as a woman, if you're ever getting insecure about your beauty, you look at yourself in the mirror and you're thinking, oh God, these eyelashes are getting thin and unattractive. I don't know what to do about these. I guarantee a man standing right behind you looking at it like, well, she's got 2 eyes. What's the goddamn problem? Even if one is a glass eye, I don't give a shit. Still an eye. I don't need them both tracking me anyway, you know. As long as there's not a patch and a parrot on your shoulder, you're more beautiful than we'll ever be. So lay off the Latisse. So yeah, had a lot of interesting jobs in my life, you know, the comedy and the physical therapy. I also worked in a restaurant for 8 years, not bragging. Restaurant was called Chili's. Now I'm bragging. God, I loved working at Chili's. It was so fun. I would hear the same complaints every night. Excuse me, my food tastes funny. I'd be like, yeah, well, welcome to Chili's. I mean, you ordered a steak for $7.99. That's your fault if you think about it. I mean, that's the wrong part of the cow, you know? I'm wearing jeans and a name tag. Let's lower the expectations here. And no one can pronounce anything off a menu at chain restaurants. I've had adults order fajitas. And I was never allowed to giggle in front of them. Every time I was like, no problem, we have chicken or steak fajitas. What can I get for you? Just so you know, every order of fajitas comes with a side of rice and beans and Rosetta Stone, in case you're interested, you idiot. Best complaint I ever had. This lady was so mad. I went up to the table. You enjoying your meal? Everything going okay? She's like, no. So what you're gonna do right now is go to the back, let the chef know that the chicken is dry. Chef? This is Chili's. So I kept a straight face. I was like, ma'am, we don't have our chef this evening at Chili's. What we do have is my friend Jose and his 4 brothers back there right now. They come to work together. If their car breaks down, we can't even open. That's how this works. So I'm laying off the chef because I've been called pendejo 4 times already tonight. And now I know what that word means. But without a doubt, my 2 favorite mispronunciations ever in restaurant history, they were always coupled up. No one could ever say pico de gallo or quesadilla correctly. And I would hear that. I'm like, come on, this is America. Learn a little bit of Spanish, you know? So many people would order from me, like, okay, let's see here. Oh, I'm gonna get me the chicken quesadilla. Oh, wait, what are onions, tomato? What the hell is cilantro? I don't even know what that is. Ooh, and jalapenos are spicy. I don't. Okay, let's take out these jalapenos. And I don't want this pico de gallo. But I'm gonna have me the chicken quesadilla. I'm like, I'm gonna poison you right now. How about that? I'm gonna poison you with some uncooked polo. And you're gonna go home with a strong case of salmonella. So just a heads up. Thank you. But I'd say the most interesting job I ever had is I got to host a music show live on television every single day. So when I got the job, I was like, I'm gonna be the best host ever. I'm gonna look at every generation of music. I went all the way back to the 50s and studied the 50s. You know what I learned? Is that dudes in the 50s were creepy. And I'm not talking about songs like bump da bump a bump 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 da bump da bump a dang dang dang. That's just brilliant songwriting. That's all that is. That is witty lyricism at its peak. I'm talking about grown men who wrote songs such as Hey Little Schoolgirl, Teen Angel, You're 16, and the creepiest uncle of them all, a song called Bobby Socks to Stockings, in which the chorus said, when she's old enough to go from Bobby Socks to stockings, she's old enough to give her heart to me. No. No, she is not, you six-pack of Mike's Hard Lemonade, bring it to the party, son of a bitch. No, she is not. So I understand new music today, yeah, it gets a lot of criticism. It's not creative, it's not romantic, it's not appropriate. Fine, but at least the Migos aren't hanging out by a playground writing a hit statutory shimmy. That's what I'm trying to say. But my favorite thing about hosting the music show were the special guests, because they were hilarious. My favorite were the hip-hop artists, because you haven't lived until you've been offered scissor in a plastic cup. They were the best. I loved them. But the thing is, I like hip-hop from the 80s and the 90s, early 2000s. It's just hard for me to get into new hip-hop, because let's be honest, you turn on the radio, every station, even the pop music sounds like a record is just skipping over and over again. You just want to keep changing the channel like, I'm faded, 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 faded. Molly, Molly, Percocet, Molly, Molly, Percocet, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Now she want a photo, but you never know though. Bibba dip, bip, bibba dip, bibba YOLO, day, 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 day. Check out that ass, 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 ass. Did your DJ pass out on the button? What just happened? And then a lot of the rap artists, all they would do is brag to me off camera, and I didn't know how to respond. This one dude was like, yeah, baby, my whole life is cars and hoes, you know what I mean? Cars and hoes. And I was like, yeah, so was the Beach Boys. They weren't dicks about it, you know? And then they would always contradict themselves. Like in the interview, they would talk about wherever they were from, like it was the most magical place on earth. Then they would rap about the same place. It became the most terrifying thing I've ever heard in my life. They would just get on the mic like, yeah, I got love for my city. I've been living for my city. Hoes, drugs, guns, and crack. One thing I know, I ain't ever going back. I got love for my city. I'm like, what the hell? You just ruined tourism for the whole city. No one's going to St. Louis now. What are you doing, man? That's why just once, I want to see a dude come on the show, didn't care about street cred, who was just so happy and proud of where he was from. Just get on the mic like, yeah, I got love for my city. I've been living for my city. Unemployment is down. Jobs everywhere. And we all got health insurance, even Medicare. Canada! I think that would have been pretty cool. And I wanted to end my special with a touching story, because we're all here together. Different people, all walks of life, laughing, you know? And as a touching story, this happened to me recently. And it just reminded me of how important life really is and how, you know, fragile life is. I lost my wallet and my phone at the same time. You might be asking, Johnny, how do you do such things? Well, a couple of months ago, a friend of mine gave me one of those phone cases that has a little pouch in the back, where you put your money and your credit cards. I call it the ruin your life sandwich. That's what it is. And I lost it. I lost it outside. I thought my life was over. I had a flight to catch. I'm just frantically searching. All of a sudden, a very disheveled man who is clearly homeless shows up and just holds up my wallet phone in front of me and says, sir, I believe you may have dropped this. And immediately a tear just rolled down my cheek. And we locked eyes and had just a human moment. And I didn't know what to do. I was like, oh my God, dude, please just tell me how I can repay you for this. And very humbly, he just looked back at me. And he said, well, maybe you could just find me a place to sleep tonight. And I was just like, yeah, man. It's the least that I can do. So I called the cops. Thank you guys so much. I'm Jonny Loquasto. Love you.
Every time he walks the house, the dude throwing up when you're in
Let him up.
lyrics as he moves the bamboo. It's like a trail face, get your fix. The dude used to be a fat cat. It's the fact that in 6th grade he had the biggest rack. The dude never been that good with dating. Fading for top-notch when he spent the baiting. The dude put marriage on the shelf like an elf. Single so long that no common law self. The dude throws masculine as action. And if you're on board, you'll come hundreds of the faction. The dude never a rapper or a clapper or another word that rhymes with. Oh, dang. I can't think of a word that rhymes. Gotta close out the song, but well, I guess it just won't get finished, but I'll release it anyway. Oh snap. Now I know what it's like to be one of those mumble rappers who gets high while drinking scissor all day. Ha, cool.
Who's Quasto?
Who the heck is Quasto?